Yo, this is Tone Capone, and you're getting lifted to the sounds of my DJ, DJ Spaceship. Go ahead and beam him up, boy. Let's get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him.
Greetings and salutations from us to all the nations. We're about to get loose, strictly for entertainment. We're reppin' Tampa Bay, 10 toes down. It's waves of the bay. No, we ain't playing around. Saturdays from 10 to 12. Make sure you ride the wave. It's Tone Capone and DJ Spaceship on your airwaves. We're mixing interviews, R&B and hip hop. We're blasting off, and the top is just a pit stop.
This is WMNF 88.5 FM in Tampa Bay, in Tampa, Florida. I'm DJ Spaceship. I got my man Tone Capone. We got a whole legend on the line with us right now, and I got to properly introduce him because this man is responsible for some vibes and moods in my life on a personal note. So I gotta make sure I introduce him right. 1/4 of the legendary group Goody Mob, 5 group albums, 1 solo album, 2 collaborative albums, 1 with my kinfolk Ali, other with my man Daz Dillinger. First Dungeon Family, first generation. Worked alongside Jagged Edge, Jermaine Dupri, Lil Jon, Nelly, Outkast, RZA, Devin the Dude. I can name all day. I could keep going on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the one and only Big Gipp. What's going on, King? Listen, man, it's an honor. It's an honor to be doing this interview with you. Like I said, you've been a part of some music that's like near and dear and personal to my heart. Got me through some times coming up as a youngin' down in the South. So I'm right there with you, man. Like I just want to tell you from the beginning, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for creating the vibes that you created back then and that you still laying down to this day.
Oh man, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, man. That's all I ever wanted. You know what I mean? All I ever wanted, man, was to represent the Southern lifestyle, the Southern upbringing, and everything that our grandmamas taught us, man. You know, like that's all I ever wanted to put into our music because I felt like if we didn't put how we grew up and how we do it in the South in the music, I don't think it ever would have been respected. You know, I just really just feel like if we didn't build that bridge with us and our folk and just like the people that just listen to us, I think that's why people tell me all the time, they were like, Gipp, man, you know, we lived off some of the stuff you said. And it's like as a kid then during that time, you know, people used to always ask us, why y'all be rapping like some grown men? Why y'all, that's the way we were taught. You know what I mean?
Going through.
It was real hard to try and be try to be the club guy when that ain't what we were doing back then. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just so different. We was aware of what the Dirty South was in our own way. We was aware that it was different. And when I used to go places, man, I would understand that it was different. So I just appreciate our grandmothers and our fathers and mothers that taught us morals, beliefs, faith, and just having belief in self. Because you know, when I went other places, man, it was different. Like LA, that environment different. How they came up. When I went to New York, that environment was different, and I just felt like coming up from how we came up in life. I think we got the best experience of life out of anybody in the United States.
Right. Now, I'm glad that you touched up on that because a lot of people, you know, they make songs. I call songs that are here today and going tomorrow microwave music, but I listen to it all. You've been a part of some some songs some timeless music, I should say.
Major, influential.
Two of the songs that I want to throw out there and just I want to know where you were at when you were a part of these 2 songs. Get Up, Get Out, and Do Something with Outkast and Grills with Nelly. Tell me where you was at, man, like mentally you did the Get Up and Get Out song, because that's a song that motivates a lot of people that be stuck in the slump. You know, they trying to get motivated to get up and get out and do something. Tell me where you was at mentally when you was a part of that song.
Okay. It was the day we got called to the studio. Boss Town at the time. This is when Bobby still owned Boss Town. I remember us going in there and Reek them played the beat. He said, "This is what we gonna do for Outkast." So what happened was CeeLo went in the booth. CeeLo did 2 verses, and then it was like after it was over, the one that he chose to record, Reek was like, "Nah, not that one, the other one."
Right,
And
right.
he was like, hold on, Reek, I gotta talk to Gipp." He pulled me out in the front. And I remember this like yesterday. He said, "Gipp, Reek want me to do goddamn this, get up, get out. But that's my song." He said, "I don't know." Like I said, "Lo, your first impression is your last." And I said, "If you do this song, you're gonna have many more songs after this."
Right, right.
And he walked in there and he did get out. That was the first time I heard it. I never even heard the verse.
Oh man.
See, what people don't understand, that at the dungeon we couldn't record. So doing that whole album, we never heard each other rhymes.
Man.
We only would sit in the dungeon and listen to the beat. You know what I mean? And the beat, Reek would just play beats and just leave the beat on for weeks. You know what I mean? Every time we come back to the dungeon, that same beat playing. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So we never heard each other rap. We couldn't record in the dungeon. So the first time we all heard each other on actual tape is when the album came out.
Oh man.
We experienced the album just like a fan at that time. Because
that had to be a whole nother level of excitement right there, man.
Yeah, it was just, I remember the day, like we walked into the studio and we was like, "Yo, the Outkast album done." And all of us sat in there, even Peaches, and everybody who was on the album sat in there and heard the album all together at one time. And it was like, wow. You know what I mean? So back then it was the magic of it all, because it wasn't no taking music home. It wasn't no copies. You know, the studio was so corporate that, you know, you was in and out. You went in, did your thing, you got out of there. You know what I mean? So it just to hear Get Up, Get Out after it was done, it was magical. It was magical because it meant that's what we was living through at the time. Like at the time that record came out, right before that record came out, Gipp was working in a warehouse in hair school and selling drugs.
So wait, you say house school? What you was cutting hair?
Nah, I was doing hair, man. You call me shampoo, man. I like girls, man. Hey, man.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Cause I had read somewhere that that CeeLo, I think he used to dance or something like that back when, you know, y'all used to have to dance and stuff like that.
Yeah,
before
like
he really started.
see, Atlanta was different than a lot of cities. See, this is what I try and tell people all the time. Man, we've been seeing black billionaires and black millionaires our whole life. You gotta remember the Bonner Brothers convention. Doing hair was a big business in Atlanta. There's plenty of people even some of the biggest dudes had 4-5 hair salons. Barbershops were cool, but hustlers knew that hair salons made the money. And back then you had the whole fashion thing. You gotta remember the years of the early 89, 90, 91. Everybody was in the uptown music. Everybody was there then. Everybody was wearing Willie wear. We was you know, so it was the time then. Everybody was on some fresh shit. And you wasn't on the fresh shit, you was on the prep. So it was like, you know, and then, you know, Florida, come on, man. Y'all killed them colors down there, man. Y'all showed them.
We had to
all the time. So
we had to make sure we contributed too. Now, you know, we had to keep up with y'all, man.
Hey, man, you know, the Florida boy, man, I used to go to Daytona Beach, man, before I even got in the business, man. So it was Daytona Beach, man. The Florida boys had the car. The Florida boy had the girls with the color hair. Man, Florida was the greatest back then. Daytona Beach, man. It was Miami. How Miami is now, that was Daytona then.
I just felt that right there. I just felt that in my soul right there, bro. Like,
listen, it's a whole experience, man, because we had Daytona spring break, and then y'all had Freaknik up in Atlanta too. That was something that was wild too.
Yeah, that was totally wild. That was and was started by college students. Now, like Grills was kind of like a trip. because we had already. I went over to Nelly them. We dropped Sweatsuit, sold 8 million records. I went on the world tour with them. We dropped the Dirty NT label record that went gold. Then shoot, we went in the studio one night while we was on tour. You know, I was playing around with it because you know I'm the only one on the bus with grills, man. You know that was me and Ali.
Right.
So it's like we were like, shoot, we need to do some grills. So then Mo, you know, we were kicking it. You know, Nelly was kicking it. We were kicking it with Paul Wall and everything. Paul Wall did us some grills. And Mo was like, shit, we about to do a song. And boy, he called JD. JD got and was like, okay, we're gonna do it at Southside. JD went and whipped the beat up. And boy, Nelly jumped on it, Paul Wall jumped on it, and then I got called by JD. JD, we went to the studio. We heard that beat one time. That song was done in 30 minutes, man.
Mm-hmm.
One take.
Me and Lisa ate that. We ate that shit. And then it was like that shit went 7 million and we went number one. So
you can put that on right now. The thing's still jamming, dog.
And let me tell you something. That record is so special because people don't know that record is the record that put me in the same room with CeeLo after 5 years. That record went number one. CeeLo went number one with Crazy. And we went to the BMI Awards in New York. And that was the first time we saw each other in 5 years.
Now that 5-year hiatus that you're speaking about, because Goody, y'all got 5 group albums, in which one of the albums I listened to it, but I kind of took it personal, and I figured I would dig deeper to find out what was going on with the group at the time. But One Monkey Don't Stop No Show, I know it was like a breakdown in communication somewhere. But I'm happy to see that y'all got that thing back together. You know, he came out with his songs Blockapella, and you know the album came out. So it kind of hurt my heart a little bit when that happened. But I understand when brothers, you know, going through their thing, you got to let them work that thing out. You don't get involved with that. And I knew it wasn't going to go to no kind of like gunplay or nothing like that. But I'm happy y'all worked that thing out, man. Because my feelings was a little bit hurt over that myself.
Yeah, but see, this the whole thing. You got to look at everything that was going on at the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Outkast coming off of Criminal. We coming off World Party. The music game changed. 98, 99, going into the 2000s. The music game started changing. It was Master P, Cash Money.
Yeah.
Eminem. What happened was, you know, Outkast was really, really growing, man. And one thing that Low was saying that he really wanted to go, he was like, Gipp, while we was recording World Party, Low was like, Gipp, if this one don't really go platinum real fast, like I want to go sing, bro. I want to go sing. And I knew this. The other guys didn't. Because me and Low bunked together. So me and Low was always together more than Joe and T together, me and Low together. So
right.
He told me, like, you know, like, Gippy, I want to go sing. And see, doing that, reason why, Lauryn Hill called Low. She said, Low, I want you to go and do this album with me. The Montana album. Remember the Montana, what's the name? Yeah, play the guitar. The older cat.
Carlos Santana? Santana.
That album.
Okay.
That album there, y'all remember that album blew through the fucking roof.
I think it was called Supernatural, I think is what it was called.
Yeah. And understand, remember that it's an older artist at the time, been around, but happens to put this great album together with this girl that just came off this Fugees album. She calls Low to do this record. Low first check off that record was like almost $500,000.
Tone, I think we're in the wrong industry, man. Like we got.
Bro, I be telling you, man. I'm telling you, dog. The writing credits and all that.
You gotta remember that record sold 15 million records, and it was a worldwide smash. That was the first time Low got the attention of being a singer. It put that taste in his mouth. Where he knew
it validated him too, man.
Yeah, it made him bigger than just rap. So it put something in him that regardless of what we was gonna do, regardless of what we was gonna say, he was gonna make that break because he had this breakthrough that, you know, most of us at that time, hip hop people, you know, we was all about hip hop. We didn't even pay attention to nothing to hip hop back then. But I'm next to Outkast that's selling millions of records and doing things that other rappers wouldn't do. And then my little brother just got called in by Lauren to do a record, and this sells 15 million. What can I say?
It's tough. I mean, because he's not
tough.
looking across the street.
I mean?
He looking across the street, down the corner, like he looking everywhere now because he on a bigger platform.
He on a bigger platform, and then he got OG like, yo, you really need to sing. You really need to, you know, I know you rap, but I think you really need to explore how far your career can go with this. Okay, boom. We drop, Get Rich to this. Backbone's on that record, right? Boom, we drop Get Rich to this. It's the first record that Goody Mob ever had hit the radio on the West Coast. Mainstream radio, Power 105, right? The Falcons going to the Super Bowl in Miami.
It sounds good. It sounds good, but we know how that ended against John Elway and the boys.
That's some Dirty Bird days, right?
Yeah, it's like the Falcons going to the Super Bowl. Boom. We get on the plane, real life. We get on the plane out here at Hartsfield. Low get on the plane, Low say, Gippy, where Backbone? Now at this time, I don't know, so I gotta make a call. I make a call to management. Management like, yo, man, Backbone and took his kid and went to the Super Bowl. Woo! Low.
Wow.
First #1 record, Super Bowl party, Power 105. We perform and Get Rich to this. LA, we on the way. Record already sold 800,000 records. Right? Low sees that. Boom. Walks off the plane. Gippy, I'm done.
Damn.
I'm done.
Come on, Backbone.
I'm done. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you got to remember now, this is everybody sitting on paper now. This is, you know, third album, wives, kids, you know.
Eating good. Everybody eating good, riding good.
Everybody kind of got their little thing. They got their, you know, instead of us being crews, it's crews. You know what I mean? It's the hanger-oners, it's the people in the ears, it's all that, you know?
Right.
Boom. We got, as soon as we don't do this right, we already booked for a tour the next week. He was like, I might come. I might not, but I might come. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get the fellas on up here to where we was going, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach. We're gonna start this tour. I get there that day. I do sound check, calling Low all day. I'm calling Low like, Gibby, I decided I'm done, man. I think I wanna sing, man, and I think if I come back out there, I'm not giving full attention to what I want to do right now. Okay, guess who opening up for us?
Who you got?
Black Eyed Peas.
Okay. Before Fergie or with Fergie?
Before Fergie.
Okay.
Right? Just us, will.i.am, boom. We do the first night, and I'm like, this ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna be able to do this, man. Not without Low. You know what I mean? We can't do this. You can't do this without Low.
Whole different vibe.
I shut it down. We come back home. Now we hot. You know what I mean? Because now you f***ed up money. Now I'm hot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, boom. We start trying to, I say, okay, I got to step up. I got to do what I got to do. Boom. I kissed the single on the Shaft soundtrack with Serve.
Okay.
Boom. All right, cool. Boom. LA was like, yo. The next thing was the meetings with LA. All right? You got to realize that, guys, this is all happening at the same time. Boom, he leaves. Next week, we wake up, we hear on the radio, LaFace Records closed. Just sold the Airster for $145 million.
Just like that.
We don't even get a second single.
Dang, so that just and now when something like that happened, you got the climate going on.
My whole pipeline, everybody, all the roads, all the relationships, everything that I built is disappeared.
Gone overnight.
Overnight.
Oh, so you got the label got sold. You got the storm going on with the group, and now they just put Gipp back at a standstill.
Boom. So then,
now
it was like I get a call from LA. Boom, I'ma sign you and CeeLo to Airster. My first thing was like, what about my
Right.
What about Joe and T, my like this? I take the deal, I get the money. But then once I go to New York and I sit down with LA, he like, Gipp. And he get mad at me when I say it, I don't care. He like, yo, won't you make some music like Ludacris? And I'm like,
like I'm Gipp Goody, man. We rock with Luda too, but Gipp.
But
Goody, this is who I am.
You just gotta stay true to yourself, man, and that's not who you were.
But understand where he at. I just closed down my label. I'm running Airster right now. I showed up in town with Pink, so I'm on some pop shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm on some big record, and that's all. I'm not even looking for what I was looking for in Atlanta. I'm in New York now. We in New York, baby.
It's a whole nother vibe.
You know, so his thing was call Pharrell, call Timbaland, call. I'm like, man, look, check this out, home. Let me go. He said, Gipp, why you want, they gave you $400,000. Tell me, let me go. I said, yep, because if I do this album, LA, my group will never be together again. Because you're going to pit me and Lo against each other.
Yeah.
He let me go, y'all.
So who did you put out Mutant Mind Frame with then?
I took it to Alan Grumlot.
Okay.
So at the time, y'all gotta look. I'm over here. The only reason I went to Koch because I'm over here looking at Big Ump had a success with DJ Ump. You know what I mean? Outkast just gave Big Ump a verse for Ump, but he blew out the roof. Boom, in turn, put money into Alan Grumlot them hand. Boom, they catch Jim Jones with Ballin'.
Yep.
Boom, it's a roll. Boom, now they got Gippy. Boom, I hit him with Stepping Out. I had the 3,000 record. I was the only one in the game with a 3,000 record that he produced and he was on.
Boogeyman.
But dude wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it because you gotta look, I'm coming from a major. I'm a certain money, certain shit gotta go with playing with 3,000.
Right.
At that time, he wouldn't give me the money. So I said, F it, I gotta go with goddamn Feel Good. I went with Stepping Out. Stepping Out still was a crossover 40 song, still did great. I did 100,000, but remember now, this is 100,000 independent before people thought it was cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
were just all on this major, and then this is when the independent started popping. The Yin Yang Twin, the Lil Jon, them over there. What's his name? The little Mexican dude from Miami.
Pitbull.
Pitbull Jump. You know what I mean? Like that started popping. So then it was like, damn, we had to do a Goody Mob out. We had to do a Goody Mob out. Right? Start working on the Goody Mob album, even though Lo gone, Lo ain't really talking. Lo like, yo, Lo come out with Closet Freak. You know, Lo on a whole nother thing. Lo in New York, Lo doing Chappelle. You know what I mean? Lo doing Lo. So
he's still on that next wave.
Yeah, he went and got Timbaland, what LA told me to go do, you know what I mean? He went and got Timbaland, he did his first beat, and boom, Low was in the major market. Low was moving around. So Low was in the tri-state area, moving around from DC, New York a lot during that time. So boom, we working on the Goody Mob album. Boom, man, Joe leave the studio. Joe had an accident. I mean,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
you know what I mean? Joe had an accident. So then Joe, like, I'm the first kid. We get to the hospital, Joe leg cut off, man. That man watched his leg get cut off. They had to cut his leg off while he watched it to get him out the car. You know what I mean? So that shit going boom. And then I finally like, yo, man, I gotta call Low, even though we ain't talking. That's what people don't understand. We were talking the whole time because this happened to Joe. This is what brought us back together in a room after we had partied. Joe. So, boom, somebody called Low. We get to the thing. Low happened to be in town. Low show up at the hospital. Like, look, my mad at nobody. I just got to do this. I know this shit crazy, but I got to do this, Gippy. Cool, man. You got to worry about Joe right now. I'm good.
Right.
Boom. All right, Joe come too. Joe, man, we can't do no album. Yeah, Gipp, we got to do the album, man. Gotta finish the album. Can't even walk. Like, you don't even that. We gotta do the album. One monkey don't stop no show. See what people don't understand? One monkey don't stop no show. Some grandmama and Gipp mama used to say. His grandmama used to say that. I don't care if I fall. One monkey don't stop no show. Gotta keep going. Joe named the album because of his accident and what he had to do. Didn't have nothing to do with Low at the time, but it had something to do with it because Joe was pissed. Right. Like, look what happened to me, and I still out here trying to goddamn stay alive. The record company, everything, every kind of way we knew how to survive the record game in the face. Now we out here playing in the independent game, trying to learn what the at the same time the streets is turning over. You know what I mean? The streets is going to the hood now. Now you starting to have the emergence of the TIs. Here comes the street, which was TI was always with us because KP found TI. I'm in TI first video. So TI was when I was recording. Yeah, when I was recording, I'm serving for Shaft. He was in the next door doing info. He was doing that in that door. So for me, I always knew Shawty was gonna win. I always knew Shawty was gonna bust. I always knew Shawty was gonna be what he was gonna be. Cause Shawty had an attitude back then. Did you know, back in the South, man, light skinned had a real attitude back then, man. They knew they were pretty.
Hey, man. It's still the same right now. It's still the same right now, bro.
He don't like it.
Light skinned that know what's happening, man. And he was one of them, man. Shawty, he used to come around us. Shawty name is 17, 18 in the all linen suit with the F41s on with the gazelle. Man, come on, man. We was like Shawty Fred. Yeah. He understand. So we knew he was gonna win. But then when it was time to shoot the actual cover for the actual album of One Monkey Don't Stop No Show, everybody took the monkey as represent CeeLo. So
I kind of took it that way too. I took it that way too.
We understand it. We was mad a little bit and a little bit. Joe named the album and we did that. We was mad a little bit. You know what I mean? And you go on his album, he did something. He had a record, you know what I mean? So it's like it wasn't that, but we still was talking to you. See, me and Los talked to each other the whole time. So you gotta remember, I'm married to Joy. I'm married to the queen. I'm married to the one. So everybody always talk to Joy, especially about that funky shit. What do you think they got?
You got it from Joy, man.
Yeah, because Joy was the one who used to come around us and, yo, let's go meet up with Dallas and Lenny Kravitz. Let's go meet up with Dallas and goddamn Janet Jackson and all that. Joy was the liaison between the hood and the people downtown. See, my crew, we was real Atlanta hood. We didn't go downtown. You know what I mean? Like we didn't go downtown. We didn't go downtown and we started doing shows. You know, cause we was from the old Atlanta. Like, we don't with that, but you go to jail over there around. You know what I mean?
Right.
New. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, it was like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, we talked about it. But I said, but look at this though. I'm like, and I tell him this all the time. I be like, Shawty, but think about this though. If you ain't lead the group and goddamn, you was still in the group, wouldn't the One Monkey Don't Start No Show been a perfect Good Mob record? It still would have been a perfect title.
Yeah.
So it's just, it was just about the narrative of it. And yeah, it was, I'm dealing with two different things, man. I'm in the middle. I'm big bruh. So I'm dealing with little bruh wanting to go sing. And I'm dealing with big bruh. He just lost his leg.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean? And Joe I Rock, that's the one. He the one going, bruh, you talking about gunplay, like he the one. You like, so it's like when your rock go down, and then it's my songbird on my other side. This
Sprinkle in the fact that you had the label situation going on too.
and the label situation, man. Like what I'm gonna do? How I'm gonna feed my? We did not do what Outkast did. Outkast did their whole first album. They did Per Diem and Per Diem and had a platinum album. But it's two of them. It's two of them, right? So yeah, they got through that first platinum album. Yeah, it made their album go platinum because y'all remember back during those times, that's when they first really started doing the radio shows. This was the emergence of the radio show.
That's when hip hop started going mainstream for real.
Yeah, that's when hip hop started going mainstream. Well, see, you got to look at me. I got 4 people in my group. I got a DJ, that's 5. I got a road manager, and I got a manager, man. I told them folks out top, I can't do no goddamn per diem. We won't eat, man.
Y'all just be doing it just to be doing it.
So boom, already we got a problem. The label got a problem with us. Goody Mob, they hard to deal with. Wham, wham, wham. Hey man, f you, man. My first tour, all I want you to do is give me 2 buses and a live band. I ain't doing no per diem. They said, okay, we're gonna give it. Where y'all going? I said, we're going on tour with the Roots and the Foods. That was our first tour.
Yo.
That was our first tour, man. And it was the most educated. It was the first live hip hop tour of that time. Nobody was going out from the first act, second act, and third act had a band on stage. And it was the greatest tour of all time. Like the sound was immaculate. The Roots were they hungriest then. Like we was hungry. That girl was, boy, she was beautiful and cold on that mic. It was a beautiful show. You know, and I just remember, we got to Virginia somewhere, this place called Steamboat. And I remember walking into the dressing room and Wyclef sitting there playing on his guitar. And he said, man, the Fugees just went platinum now. Now the world. And from there, then boom, they dropped that goddamn, that one with her singing.
Killing me softly.
Man, by the half of that tour, by the time we got to the Midwest, man, that record was worldwide, man. Like, that was like, and you got to understand being on tour with them at that time, and they reaching Bobby Brown numbers at doing what they labeled as neo, you know, African, you know, that kind of shit. And we was kind of like, we'll take that, but we all smart and this shit jamming. Like, they shit was so different then. It was just so different. Our shit was different. Root shit was different. And Bahamadia was the opening act.
I remember Bahamadia.
Dope.
It was such an education, King, because it educated us on how to really be showmanship. See, we taught Outkast how to do shows. See, we were 5 years straight. We was the number one group on the stage. Couldn't nothing touch it. That's why I got so much gripe with the industry. Like, man, out of here, man. Out of here, man. That shit
now let me take you back to a time, because y'all done been around for some legendary stuff. I want to take you back to, let's go back to that Source Awards. When Outkast won, I think it was Best New Group. And they were booing. You had the East Coast, West Coast thing. Back then, you had to really have talent to be, rapping and stuff back then. And Andre got up there and said, all I know is the South got something to say. Tell me what the tension, how thick the tension was in that room, accepting that award and the South not being respected by all, the East Coast and the West Coast.
It was a group of us and we just walked out on the prison yard. It was nothing. We the only, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand. We sitting there in the crowd. My 3 or 6, the whole time before we even get up there, we on Tootsie Roll, we on the 69 Boys album. We in Florida, man. We on the Boom Farm. So we get
hype with it. Yeah.
We waiting to see Thrill. He about to do Tootsie Roll. Thrill do Tootsie Roll, man. Them folks just look at Thrill. Now we sitting up there like, wait a minute now. This is a pop record. Now this him, man. These boys, let me hear them jamming. So when they gave Thrill them that kind of shit, we were like, damn. So then they did the other lyricists of the year, and they had Biggie Smalls, Big Mike, somebody else, and we was kind of like Big Mike, and they were like Biggie Smalls. We were like, damn, I thought something serious we got. Serious, we were just like, man, I don't understand. This shit ain't got them falling out. Wait, they just booed 3 of them. They just got that. To me, they robbed Big Mike. And then, boom, it's our turn. And then they won Album of the Year. And it was like, when we got up there, I just remember me standing behind Dre just looking at everybody like, man, this shit up, man. Shit really up how y'all treating us, man. But yeah. I wasn't all the way feeling, we wasn't feeling by ourselves because they did the West Coast the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Snoop them was in there hot. They was in there hot, but they just wanted to fight everybody. At the same time, it was a group of from New York that was getting treated the same way. The Wu-Tang. See? While we in New York at this Source Awards, Outkast dropping their album. Boom, we go to the Source Awards. The first time we the next 2 or 3 days, Outkast album come out. When we go and do this little club, we doing the show. Biggie in the front. When we do Get Up, Get Out, he stand right in front of CeeLo and rap CeeLo verse with him.
Wow.
Man, that's a moment in time right there, bro.
He rapped CeeLo verse standing there. I didn't know who he was at the time.
Right.
But Low did, you know what I mean? I knew Biggie, you know what I mean? But I'm saying when he rap Low verse, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, he knows. So he always had, him and Puff always with Low. They always respected Low off that one verse. All that Get Up, Get Out verse, man. He was the first round out the crew to get Rhyme of the Month. Man, that was unheard of back then, man.